Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. We are back. Football season is here. We got the brand new intro as you see. Shout out to my boy Blue. That's my boy Blue rapping. I didn't play the whole verse, his verse. That's his chorus, though. But, that's my boy Blue. Shout out to my boy Blue, man. We thank him for this. But welcome to the Hash It Out Show. It's football season. I'm your host, JB, your sports guy. I'm joined by my two co-hosts. First of all, he's on CrescentCitySports.com, the one and only VK Jones. VK, what's happening?
What's going on, man? Like, share, tag, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna get it right, guy dog. You know that. But subscribe to all social media platforms on the Hash It Out Show, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your Twitter. And also, we're live on Facebook and live on YouTube. And big shout out to Mr. Blue, Mr. Jackson. I like the intro. I think that is awesome to use for our new game of the week theme as well. Might have to add some things onto it as well, but I like it, man. I thought you might use that next week. But I'm kind of surprised.
Oh, now we're using the Jamboree week, baby.
It is. There it is.
Yeah. We also joined my other good friend, the other co-host of the show, the one, the only George Peppers. What's up, George Peppers?
What's up, JB? I'm good, VK. I'm great. And football season, you're right, it's here. But you know what else is still here? The doggone heat. That needs to go. That's the only thing we need to get rid of is this 100 and something degree heat. And we're gonna be in it this weekend, though. With we're going Friday. Eric, Brother Martin, Shaw, St. Aug, at Shaw. Hopefully the grass is cut. Um, I'm being messy with that. But no, it should be an interesting. That should be an interesting doubleheader. You have a state finalist, four playoff teams from last year, and a state finalist. Brother Martin being the state finalist from last year in Division One. Very interesting challenge for Eric, and then St. Aug and Shaw to cap it off at Zimmerman. Going to be a very entertaining game. It's a rehashing of an old rivalry that obviously with Shaw not in the Catholic League, we're going to see if some bitterness still exists. I want to see if my two co-hosts can get along Friday night when they get to Shaw.
It'll be all good. We'll get into the Jamborees in a second. Two things we want to talk about. We'll talk about a couple of scrimmages that me and VK went to. But first, I want to talk about the Jamboree in New Orleans that's been moved to East St. John. And there's a lot of people that are upset that this Jamboree got moved. Teams included McDonough 35, Landry, Carr, Warren Easton, East St. John, and Kennedy. Those six teams were involved in the Jamboree that got moved. There are a lot of people that are upset. Let me just say this. I'm not one of the ones that's upset that it happened. People need to learn how to act. And we go back to this Jamboree from last year. There were many fights that happened, and supposedly somebody pulled out a gun and people took out running. So if people don't know how to act, and we're not searching people when we walk through the gates to enter the stadium, why do you think NOPD will want to be involved with something like this? NOPD straight up said, no, we don't want nothing to do with this. We are not going out there. And can you blame them? No. So now the game got moved. I don't blame the people. I can't blame them. If you're not going to act right at high school football games, why should officials put their lives in danger also? Why? VK?
Wow, it's unbelievable. And You just had a feeling things was gonna change, and I hate to say it, things was gonna change when St. Aug stopped hosting the jamborees. It was gonna be a big, big change. The first year when it did it, it was not bad, just a couple fights, but things the last couple years has been getting ridiculous. It's been getting really, really ridiculous, and especially what's been happening last season. The NOPD and the thing about NOPD, for one thing, they're short-handed right now, and they're trying
They
to
are.
build right now with their recruiting. So right now, this is a main reason. It ain't just people knowing how to act; it's the fact NOPD is short-handed, and they're not about to risk this thing right now. They'll be out there for the regular season, but not for that jamboree, not for that night with 3 games. So it's just a fact of the matter is it's just shortness all around with an OPD right now, and people need to, what I'm saying, like I said, my biggest thing, and I said it myself on the podcast before. If you don't have, if I'm like this, if the kids don't come out to come watch a game or conjugate with their friends and chill, but want to start some ruckus, run around, all this stupid stuff, stay home. Stay home. Don't come out here. Because chances are you're going to cause some trouble or you going to go to jail. Man, straight up, man. These police is not playing. And that's what it is. You ain't going to be just leave. You ain't going to be escorted from the stadium. They're going to handcuff you and you're going to jail. And you might be staying there for the weekend.
The crazy thing is, we just had a situation at West Jeff High School at the Everett and Carver scrimmage where something happened outside the stadium and the cops did not let the scrimmage continue. They shut it down. So this is what your what can I say? This is what can happen when something like this happens. And we don't want that. We want these kids to have fun playing football, these coaches to get a feel of their team, what they need to work on, stuff like that. So if we have stupidity, this is what's going to happen. They stopped the last game at this jamboree at Tad Gormley last year. They stopped it. After numerous fights, they finally stopped it. George Peppers, what you want to say about this?
As a person who works in the field of law enforcement, I'm 100% behind the NOPD's decision not to fool with the jamboree. And hold up, let me answer this. Joe, who's that? Joe Dillon.
Joe
Yes.
Dillon.
St. John Parish is not as big as New Orleans, so slow down with the numerics. They don't have the populace of New Orleans. NOPD has a staff shortage, as VK pointed out. He's right. They have a new police chief in place. She was elected in February, took office in February. I'm sorry, um, but as y'all mentioned, you know, behavior patterns. It is a jamboree. It is the dawning of a new football season. It is not an excuse for you to go out there and act like an idiot. No, see, back in the days when we were in school, the three of us. I mean, I've got seniority on both of y'all, but back in our days, because we're not that far apart age wise. Um, Jamborees, man, look, we would go. It'd be all good. It'd be like, man, let's go hang out. Let's go kick it in the concessions, watch the game, check it out. Man, you didn't have people running there with guns and all that foolishness. Now you got punks out there, excuse me for saying it that way, but punks. They out there with a piece thinking they're bad. They're not. You carrying a gun, you ain't nothing unless you're a cop. That's different. But you're a 15, 16-year-old kid carrying a piece. First of all, you should be going to jail automatically. I don't care. That's a felony. That's felony possession of a firearm. See ya. You're going to jail. You're gonna get the silver bracelet, and you're going to jail. And you're not passing go. You're not collecting 200. This ain't monopoly. You're going to jail. Simple as that. And the jamboree has been moved to Keller, right? To East
That's
St.
right.
John.
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, now let's hope that they do the job that they're supposed to, and I think they will. But I just hope the migration of kids that go to see this jamboree, and I hope the reason that they moved it is not to discourage the kids from going. I think the reason is to discourage the violence, the potential violence. But you had Aaron and Carver last week in a scrimmage, and you got knuckleheads on the outside the stadium kicking off some foolishness. Why? What the hell are you proving? Man, look, see, like, we start our games next week. Hash it out game of the week. We're going to Covington, gonna do an early plug. We are going to Jack Salter Stadium. Myself, VK Jones. We will be on the call next week. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. Every game we go to, the first thing I do is walk the field. The second I look at is the security, and then I go to the press box. I'm gonna tell you that, BK. That's how I do it. I'm looking at the security. I may mill around with them a little bit, but be like, "What's up? Y'all coming strong?" See, my watch captain, who works with me at JP, does a lot of security at Memphis for games, any games that are scheduled there. And I don't know offhand who's playing there next week off the top of my head, but he works security, and he tells me there's a lot of immature knuckleheads out there, and I'm like, it's everywhere, but it seems like it's more pronounced in New Orleans and on the West Bank. It seems like it's more pronounced, and it's sad. It's really sad. I
I'll say
mean,
this. I'll say
mm,
this. I believe because New Orleans people don't really leave New Orleans, and I don't think you're gonna get the big crowd from these New Orleans schools going to East St. John. Just my opinion.
it's a little ride out there too.
I can agree, and on top of that, yeah, they don't leave out there like talking about it, but they could because here's the thing: it is a Saturday afternoon, 3:30 start,
Okay,
so it's enough time for them to take that ride. So it's the thing is, some of them will make it, some of them will don't. But at the same time, I think there's a chance they could get out there because it
off
is
day.
it is a good start. It's not like top 28 the last couple years where they screwed us and had all these schools play at 10 a.m. So
Hmm.
that's a difference in itself. But here's the thing about that, and Joe Dillon, I get what you're talking about, but here's the thing about St. John Parish, and I've been frequent around there the last couple years. St. John Parish don't play, man. They don't play. If you act up and act stupid, it's just like New Orleans, just like everything else. They're gonna escort you, and not just that, you act stupid, the handcuffs are on you, and you there for the whole weekend
All right,
guarantee.
let's let's move along. So me and VK went to two scrimmages last week. We're gonna start with Eric and Carver. I'm going to go first. Um, to me, defensive struggle. Both defenses played well. John Eric offensively, man, to me, the O line was the weakest link, and it's people probably thinking, what you mean, man? They got an O line going to LSU. That O line is massive and big. What you talking about? Listen, that O line got to get more physical. They got to get mean. It was nothing mean about that O line. Carver was getting through easily. Carver, on the other hand, they O line held up not too bad. Just couldn't move the ball. Some incomplete passes, trying to go deep a lot of times, and to me, didn't run the ball enough. I think if Carver become more balanced, I think Carver will be a dangerous team to look out for. For VK.
I definitely agree. I was, the defense of Eric was not that bad at all. They made some plays like they supposed to. I think that's going to be the strength of that Eric team. Offensively, the offensive line really has got to. They got to find something in them to get it together. That's what they need to do. They're big, but they have to get some aggressiveness in them more than anything else. Carver's going to be a tough team. This is going to be a tough team with the experience they have back, especially up front. Their center is a 3-year starter. He started as a freshman.
Earl Catchings. Earl Catchings.
He
Yes.
started he started as a freshman years ago. And that line that they have is humongous for Carver. Like I said, this is going to be a tough Carver team to look out for. I was impressed with their offensive line. Their defense is pretty quick, pretty tough. And I think the receiving core is not that bad. And the quarterback that they got,
Jaden
if he,
Verrett.
Jaden Verrett, he has enough time in that pocket, he's going to be very dangerous.
Moving on to Hornville against St. James. Um, Another defensive battle, but we had some more fireworks in this game. A lot more fireworks. St. James passing the ball, able to run the ball. Hornville defense became stout when they had to. Only allowed one touchdown. Um, St. James only allowed one touchdown too, but Hornville didn't look too bad. It was able to run the ball. get some passes also, but St. James made the stops when they needed to make the stops. So, to me, the Hornville team wasn't bad. I'm not leaving my prediction on them finishing fourth in the district. To me, a Hornville team supposed to dominate St. James. That didn't happen. Did they look better than the spring game? Well, we comparing Warren Easton to St. James. You can say yeah. You can say yeah. You know, but
They look much to me. They looked much better. They
you
really
say they
did.
look better. But if I'm putting if we comparing St. James to Warren Easton, which is not really a comparison because Warren Easton is a better team than St. James. I don't know. But Hornville back in the day would have beat St. James a lot more than we getting just a touchdown on both ends. But that's my look at it. I think St. James gonna be dangerous. When St. James play to their competition on their level, they're dangerous. They're gonna be dangerous. VK.
I think what I was impressed with, like Hanville, they really played, handled some business. They really took care of things and stuff like that. So I had to give them that. Very competitive. St. James, I tell you, they're going to be dangerous. I was very, very like I'm not surprised with the defense. But I'm gonna say this about St. James is offensive line. I was very impressed with St. James' offensive line. To me, in my opinion, what I've seen so far early, maybe one of the best offensive line in the city, maybe in the state, because these cats here, it's probably one of the biggest offensive lines they had in a long, long time with Jermaine Williams, who was at the tackle 6'8.5", at about 295, 300. I mean, but everybody else is about the other tackle is about 6'5.5", 6'6". They got a guard 6'2", 6'3". They got the smallest guy is at least 5'11", 6 feet, about 310. Everybody else is big up front. And they in a couple plays we seen, they was smashing the defensive line of Hanville. Very, very impressive what I seen. And like I said, St. James is gonna be dangerous. And I think Coach Luquette got some hope from his team, the way they competed and everything else. Hanville will probably, their team that's gonna fight all the way to the end.
Our good friend Nick Campbell says John Ehret is the surprise team this year. Well, they got some work to do to be a surprise team. All right, let's get to these jamborees. We're gonna pick some winners.
Oh, before we move on, my friend, we got to talk about this one scrimmage, man. We cannot go forward without talking about St. Augustine. We cannot go forward without talking about that scrimmage in itself.
Yeah, we can. St. Aug lost. Easton won.
No,
Let's move
no,
ahead. Let's move.
no, no, no,
Let's move ahead. Go
no.
ahead. Go ahead. Let's go
This
ahead.
was
I
this
got you.
was
No,
the
I'm with you. I'm with you. Go
right.
ahead. I'm
This
with
was
you.
the scrimmage out of all scrimmages the whole week. Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go
Here's
ahead.
the thing. It doesn't matter St. Aug lost. This was the scrimmage of all week. Probably the best
I,
scrimmage of all week. You
I
have to
agree.
think about it.
I agree.
It was a tight ball game all throughout the game, and Easton came up big at the end. What put it in perspective more than anything else, when I looked at the highlight film from Josh Preston and everything else, what I've been saying about Warren Easton. They got a chip on their shoulder, and it looks like they have some passion around them, and looks like they want this thing. I said it myself. These first couple weeks, we're gonna tell how much they gonna really want this season, how much they really gonna be like, look. And the biggest thing that Jerry Phillips said in the pregame before they got out there, we changed our logo a bit. They got the fist on there instead of the eagle and said, we're fighting everybody. Meaning, guess what? We coming for everybody's head. It don't matter who's in the way. So it's going to be interesting to see big plays by Greg Donaldson, big plays by Fred Robinson. St. Aug had some good plays also from their quarterback as well. The defensive end came up there, made some big plays for St. Aug. The Purple Knights, they really did some things, and I heard some overreaction that you was telling me Mr. Boyd. Some overreaction from the St. Aug faithful. All I gotta say is calm down. Please calm down. You know what I'm saying? The we know DJ 13. I know you was gonna ask that question. I knew you was gonna ask that question. I know he had a big fourth down play that he made. You know what I'm saying? But I know he didn't complete too many passes. But at the same time, Greg Donaldson has a lot of experience in itself. But at the same time, hey, but we'll see what happens during the season. Ooh, ooh,
What was that score
bruh.
last year?
That
67 to
was
20. Whew.
I ain't and
Last year, right?
last year was bad.
It
I
was
gotta
real
tell you,
bad.
it
The
was
only game Fred didn't get 100 yards.
well. Fred almost had 100, but he didn't get it. But at the
That's what I
same
said.
time,
He didn't get
yeah,
it.
no, I'm saying he almost got it. It was just that bad. But all I know, it's not gonna be about 40 points at all.
Yeah, this year, no. I think it'll
No,
be closer.
no.
It'll
This
be
is gonna be
closer.
very closer, and I think Houston has, but at the same time, this was a great scrimmage. This just shows more than anything else that Warren Easton has got something to prove. Thanks for the numbers, New Orleans Dolphins. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're on the ball, baby. You're on the ball. Yeah, he did not have a
All
good night.
right. Let's get to the Jamboree. Let's get to the
Yes, yes,
Jamborees, all right?
yes.
Bring my man George back in here. Thursday Jamborees. We're going to start with Booker T. Washington against South Plaquemines. This is at Hornville High School. Look, I think South Plaquemines got a lot to play for this year. I think they're going to make a good running in whatever class they're in due to the new temporary injunction. I guess they're in 2A. So I think South Plaquemines going to make a good running, but I think um, I really think we're going to see a close game in this jamboree, a close one. Um, I want to go. I want to go Booker T. Washington by 3, 4, close one. South Plaquemine is going to hang in there tough with them, and they're going to show that they are a team not to be slept on. George Peppers.
I'm gonna go with the Hurricanes by 10.
Whoa!
South Park by 10.
Wow.
Arnold Barnes ain't there.
Ooh.
Booker T's only source of offense last year was Arnold Barnes. When they stopped him, they had no second option. Now they got to figure it out. And look, they do a good job there at Booker T. They've done a good job at resurrecting that program and getting that program back into the relevant stages. I just think Lyle Feet and South Plaquemines are going to be the hidden gem in South Louisiana this year, and I think they got a real shot to be a big, big player. Again, what class are they going to be in? Who knows? With this stupidness that happened the other day that we talked about. Well, I'm gonna go Hurricanes by 10, VK.
I like this game is going to be interesting and stuff. I'm glad they added it on to that jamboree schedule over Hanville. I ain't gonna lie, I like the Hurricanes too, and a close
Okay.
one. I like the Hurricanes by a touchdown. It Booker T, they're gonna be straight, but at the same time, losing all the Barnes meaning a lot. But South Plaquemines has a lot of veterans back this year, and they got
Yep.
something to prove. So I'm going with South Plaquemines in a squeaker.
All right. The game following that one, West Jeff versus Hornville, and on my not mine, excuse me, on the Hash It Out page on Instagram, people are voting, and it is very close to who they're saying is going to win. But I'm going with the Hornville Tigers by 10. I think they get the job done, but I do expect Sean Nicholas, the wide receiver for West Jeff, to have a great game. I think he's going to catch some balls over those cornerbacks. George Peppers.
With the abbreviated time in games, Nicholas is not going to get a whole ton of looks. I mean, I don't know if West Jeff's going to be exclusively him. And I don't know how the format's going to be. Is it a 15-minute quarter with two games, or is it two quarters? I don't know how they're going to do it.
Two
Um,
quarters, I think 20 minutes
so
each, running clock.
yeah, no halftime or something like that. So they just play two quarters and that's it. That said, I'm with you, Jared. I'm going to take the Tigers on Hornville. Um, West Jeff's got a new coach. They're going to be breaking in pieces, and they're in a again in a transitional phase. VK, I'm going Hornville. I'm going to go another double figure win, 10 points.
I'm gonna agree with you, George. I'm gonna go with Hanville winning by 10. I think West Jeff will make it interesting early. Coach Holmes, brand new coach coming in from North Louisiana, trying to bring some winning culture back to West Jeff. But we'll see with that. And also, Marcel Andre on the staff as the defensive coordinator. Used to play for St. Augustine.
Hmm.
Also was part of the Last Chance U over at East Mississippi. Wound up going to Nichols. So it's good for him to be back home and everything. But hopefully they'll try to get
Hmm.
something together. But I think Hanville will get it done.
All right. All
Woo!
right.
DJ
So
13 is funny.
so next game.
Yes, indeed, I saw
We
it.
about we about to have a great game right here, man. Close, tight game. Riverdale versus Higgins. I'm telling y'all, this is gonna be a good game. Don't miss this game. I got Riverdale down over Higgins. George Peppers.
Wow, we're gonna pick this
Oh, we picking
hot
it, baby.
dog. Riverdale. Look, no disrespect intended to those two programs, but they have been irrelevant for a long time, haven't they? I'm just saying they've been the bottom feeders, and we picking this game. Boy, how about the depth of what we do on Hash It Out, y'all? That's what we do.
We got
That's
love
what
for
we do.
everybody.
Exactly. Exactly. There ain't no discrimination. We gonna give everybody some shine. But that being said, Clifford Harris has been given a bum rap at Higgins, a bum deal. Administratively, I don't think they've really supported him. I don't think they've given him the resources they need that he needs to compete. Look, Higgins is not the number one destination on the West Bank to go to school if you're a top end West Banker. Everett, Shaw, are the two alpha dogs on the West Bank. It's not West Jeff. It's Aaron and Shaw. It's either you're going to pay the money to go to Shaw or you're going to go to Aaron. That's how it works. So Higgins gets the table scraps. Riverdale, except for a couple of years ago when Stuart Bott was their head coach and they had some good, decent years. Made the playoffs one year and whatnot. With that being said, I don't know. Higgins,
Yeah,
Higgins by a field goal.
he got Higgins
I
by a
mean,
field
I'm
goal.
coin flipping this one. I'm gonna go Higgins field goal, VK.
You know how Riverdale is. Drive good head coaches out. You mentioned
Yep.
Stuart Bott, Brett Bonifans, Willie Brooks, you name it. But this is interesting for Riverdale that this year that the head coach that they have this year, probably one of their deepest rosters that they have ever had. They have about 70 kids on the Riverdale roster. So that's interesting
Hmm.
in itself. Higgins, I don't know about the depth. I know Clifford Harris gonna do what he can. I think this might be the best game of this Jamboree weekend. Seriously,
Really?
because you gotta think
I'm telling
this
you,
is
man. I'm telling you, it's
this
gonna be a good game. I'm
this
telling
is
you, I'm
this
for
is
real when I say this.
it's an even matchup. Don't be
Yes.
surprised. This will be a shootout to the death. It'll be
Shootout.
it'll be 20, it'll be 35-28 Riverdale.
Oh,
35-28.
dude, I'll buy you lunch if they score 50 points. If they score 40 points between those two teams, I'm buying you lunch.
I'm,
Name your place.
I'm,
If they score 40, listen, if both teams score, I'm going to give you this. If Riverdale and Higgins make it to 40 points, I'm buying you lunch. Pick your spot. Both of
Ooh,
you.
I'm looking. I'm
oh,
gonna keep my eye on this
oh,
game. I got you, boy.
he said both of us. He said he treating
Both of
us.
I
y'all.
heard. I heard.
Woo.
All right, let's move
All
along.
right,
Move
let's move
along.
on. This is funny.
Livingston versus Carver, everybody. A little ninth ward battle in the Jamboree.
Hmm.
Livingston versus Carver. Livingston was a good team last year, 9-2. Got to the second round of playoffs and lost to Shaw. And we got Carver. I'm gonna go Carver. I think Jaden Verrett has a big game. Um, just think they got a little bit more talent than Livingston, so I'm going Carver with the win. George.
I don't know much about Livingston coming back from last year. I do know they were very good last year. They got exposed a little bit against Kennedy in the regular season. Remember, they were undefeated, and Kennedy put the works to them in the
My
regular
bad,
season last
TJ.
year.
My fault. Livingston is in the East. My fault. My fault right there.
Okay,
Go ahead, George.
we
I'm sorry.
good.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all to the good. Carver, young, I saw him last week against an Eric defense that's going to be very good. They had a little bit of. You said they struggled most of that game. It's all about identity and jamborees and trying to find a little bit of a rhythm getting ready for the regular season. I think
What's
this
up,
is a
Coach
low
Mo?
scoring. I think this is a what's up, Coach? I think this is a low scoring game, VK. But I'm gonna tip my hat to the Rams. I'm gonna go Carver close.
I say Carver look close as well. I think they pull away at the end and everything else. I think Livingston will make it interesting. They still got some good players returning, including their starting quarterback and receiver as well. I think Coach Francois is going to have them ready to go. But I think Carver's just going to be just a little too much against Livingston.
Yes, indeed. DJ13. He said, you know, y'all West Bank people need a GPS.
Hey,
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 I know how to
we
get
Hey
Joe
man,
Brown.
cut it
I don't
out.
need no GPS for Joe Brown.
DJ. Let me tell you something. DJ 13. We at least get out the city.
DJ
Do
get out the
y'all,
city. DJ get
DJ
out the
get out?
city.
Jordan
Oh,
Taylor, you
I know
dead
DJ get out
on.
DJ
the city.
does.
Oh yes.
I know DJ does. But what about the other people? Do y'all know what Lutcher is?
Hey, see, here you go,
Jordan
buddy.
Taylor said it right, y'all. Look at this comment. Jordan Taylor, you dead on. Dead
Shout out to
on.
shout out to Jordan Taylor. Hey, you guys that watching this show, also check out Under the Lights. Jordan Taylor hosts a show just like ours called Under the Lights. You can catch them tomorrow and Friday. I want to say 9 o'clock p.m. Jordan, put the time in if I'm wrong, but I want to say 9 o'clock p.m. on Facebook Live, y'all, so y'all can catch it. All right, let's move on. MLK versus Sophie B. Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this. MLK had 11 people on the team last year that was offered D1 scholarships. Seriously. Their quarterback last year was Eric Cheneau. Eric Cheneau has now transferred. So that is the big question mark on MLK quarterback. Eric Cheneau is now at John Eric. So I got a question mark on that one. But I kind of still feel MLK pulls this one out. GP.
I'm with you. Joe Riley does a good job there at MLK. I mean, he's done good work over there. And Sophie B. Wright's trying to find their footing. Shots fired. Okay.
No, just
Um,
when we were going back and forth when
I
VK went to
got
New
you.
Orleans. Yeah.
I feel. Oh yeah, I hear you. But anyway, MLK, Sophie B. Wright. Look, this is a low scoring game. I think. You just pointed out why, Jared, because of Chanot transferring. MLK's got to get a new quarterback, break him in. And a Jamboree is where you usually experiment to figure out, okay, what can or what can't you do. Joe Riley's a quality coach. I feel like the top end talent on MLK is a little bit better than Sophie B. Wright. And in a close game, I'm gonna go with ML King Charter.
VK.
I think that game is. I think this game is going to be another good game. That's going to be very good on the schedule and everything else, especially for the Jamboree week. Should be very close, but I wouldn't be surprised. I say 22-21. Sophie be right.
All right. Moving on. Jesuit versus North Shore. North Shore got some talented players, but I just don't know if they are as disciplined as Jesuit. Might be close, but I'm gonna pull with the Blue Jays on this one. George Peppers.
I think this is an underrated game here. Two teams that are trying to find an identity and trying to find some momentum, off of last year. Both had middling seasons last year.
One
Really
second,
never
George.
got a.
1 second. 1 second. DJ is that Pan American. Go ahead, George.
Okay. Both teams are trying to find their footing. They didn't really find it last year. They were both basically, it was topsy turvy for both ends. As far as who wins it, I'm gonna go with the North Shore in a close game. I think North Shore ekes out a close one.
Go ahead, VK.
Should be a very close game. North Shore really surprised a lot of folks last year, and they're looking at trying to make a move this year in the district and everything. Jesuit is trying, they're trying to find themselves with some starters returning and stuff for Ryan Manali's team. I'm gonna go with the Blue Jays by a field goal. Should be a very close game.
Mm.
All right. There you go. Now we have in Lafayette, and this is big to me. Lake Charles College Prep going play Lafayette Christian Academy. Lake Charles College Prep ain't scared to play nobody. They'll
Nope.
play anybody. And they non-conference is tough this year. And to start the Jamboree going to Lafayette Christian with Jawan Johnson, man, that's telling me y'all really want to win state. And they got a good shot to win state. But tomorrow night, they're not beating LCA. George Peppers.
I second that emotion. Juwan Johnson, too much. I think Lafayette Christian. Look, I'll give Lake Charles College Prep this. Look up their schedule to the ones listening. Check them dudes out. They are absolutely serious about trying to get to New Orleans on the second week of December. And that's the way they do it. Yes, they do, New Orleans Dolphins. Yes, they do. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if they get there. It wouldn't. It's a tough road to hoe. The only thing I'm worried about with LCCP in the season is that they overkill with the schedule. If it's too hard, does it beat them up enough to where they get knocked off before they get to New Orleans? But for this game, VK, there's too many athletes on Lafayette Christian's team. Jawan Johnson's a nightmare for anybody. He did it to St. Thomas More. Did it to De La Salle, two premier defenses. What's he going to do with LCCP? I think LC wins this game. And I don't want to say blowout, but I do think that they get away by. I do think they win by double figures, but it's one of those where it's close early, but Lafayette Christian stretches it in the second half, in the second end.
Another great ball game right here. And I'm going to say this. LCCP is going to bring the lumber against Lafayette Christian. They're bringing the lumber. And I think it's close. Another shootout. I say another shootout because I'm telling you now, LCCP is trying to make a statement that we are out here to come and win state. And I said it myself. This is the coming out party this year. They lose to Lafayette Christian, but final score 35-28 Lafayette Christian.
DJ 1-3. Yes, y'all beat Lafayette, Lake Charles College Prep a couple years ago. I was at that game. I had a cousin that was on the Lake Charles College Prep team. I was at that game, and y'all did beat them. And the following year, Lake Charles College Prep went to the semis and lost by 1 point to Farmerville,
Maddie?
which is now Union Parish. So
Oh.
yeah. So now another Lafayette area Jamboree game. Acadiana versus St. Thomas More. This is another big one, VK. I think this might go down to the horn to 0 seconds, but I think STM gonna beat them. I got STM. George Peppers.
St. Thomas More, uh, to Jared Boyd's point, because he put a poll up on Hash It Out some weeks ago about who's the best quarterback. I think the boys are a little bit butthurt, and they gonna want to make a
They were
statement.
mad
They
with
can't.
me. They were mad with
They
me.
mad with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not mad about you. They're mad with you. There's a difference. But with that said, Acadiana's trying to get back to the eliteness of high school football. It's not that they've dropped out of it, but they're kind of on the fringes now. St. Thomas More has got multiple state championships in the toe. Stole one last year, quite frankly, against Lafayette Christian. We've already extolled on that. No need to go there again. I think that St. Thomas More VK wins it by a touchdown. Acadiana gives them a gallant fight, but STM gets it done by a touch.
This is going to be a very close game indeed. I have STM winning by field goal because this is going to be a very close game going down to the wire and everything. And STM, I love your energy, man. I love your energy, but you better show up and show out week number 9. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Show up and show out. I'm not talking no
That's at
smack.
Westgate, right?
That's at Westgate.
I'm
I'm
laughing
not.
at
Okay.
I'm laughing at DJ. Go ahead, man.
I'm
Me
like,
too. I'm seeing the same thing.
yes, indeed. I'm like this. Show up and show out, man. I'm not talking no smack at all. I have a classmate I finished at St. Augustine has a son that plays for STM and everything. I got number of respect for the program, especially for their head coach that has done an unbelievable job over there. What's his name? George
Hightower. Jim
Hightower.
Hightower. Legend.
Jim Hightower, who's done an
Hmm.
unbelievable job. But I'm like this. Carry that same energy against Westgate against week 9. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
All right. Now let's get to some Friday jamborees. We're gonna start off with Rummel at St. Paul's. Now, I saw St. Paul's scrimmage against John Curtis, and they pretty much held their own. They did pretty good. A lot of people are talking about Rummel. Like, Rummel's that team this year. And I just don't know. I just don't know. They lost some people. But people saying, man, rumble this, rumble that. I'm hearing people say this. And I just don't know this year. I don't know. But it's a hard pick for me in this one. But I'm going to pick the Raiders by 3. I'm going to pick the Raiders by 3 for St. Paul's. George Peppers.
Week 3, they might be that team. I'm just saying. Week 3.
Yeah, all right.
I'm just
Yeah, all right. Go ahead, George.
Somebody's getting
you.
stressed.
You walked into that one, sir. You
Oh,
walked
well.
into that one. It is what it is. You open a door, I just had to walk in. Thank you for the
Yeah.
welcome. Um, as far as this game, St. Paul's, you said they scrimmaged Curtis and they held their own, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tells me that St. Paul's in a very wide open district is going to be one of those teams that we're going to have to keep an eye on. As far as this game, I'm going to go with St. Paul's. It's on their field. I'm going to take St. Paul's by a touchdown.
BK.
Well, St. Paul's, that's really, really good that they, against a Curtis, hung with a good Curtis team in the scrimmage. Rummel, they're trying to make their way back. They're trying to really make their way back here more than anything else. It should be very close, but I'm going with St. Paul's by a field goal.
St. Paul's by a field goal. DJ say Romo got a quarterback, number 9, but he doesn't start. All right. So now we go to Chalmette, where this game is being played. Bell Chase versus Holy Cross. And I'm going to jump right into this quickly. Bell Chase will not be able to cover Kobe Young and Cross Johnson. They won't be able to. Holy Cross have a field day throwing the ball against Bell Chase. Bell Chase lost a total of 16 starters from the team last year. Bell Chase in trouble with this game. I got Holy Cross. George Peppers.
Route on. Holy Cross, big. As you mentioned, I was waiting for this one. I thought this would be one of the games we pick. Bell Chase, I've been doing some reading. And yeah, reading about, go to CrescentCitySports.com if you want the most in-depth prep previews. Check it out. Kenny Trahan does a super, 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 super job. And there's a reason why he's the GOAT. The man is a legend. And he gives you great in-depth analysis, schedule breakdowns, and all that stuff. Mel Chase lost a ton of people, and Stephen Myers is a good coach. VK. Scott Watney didn't make the trip to didn't go to Holy Cross to be cosmetic. I think this is one of those. Yes, it's just a jamboree. Temper the enthusiasm, but Holy Cross, this is a delicious matchup for them. They're going to win by 2 scores. I think 14 points.
Bell Chase, they got that. They still have that running back in his last year, and he's really, really good for Bell Chase. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll have a decent game, but it's not going to be enough. I think Holy Cross will win it by 10 points or by 2 touchdowns.
All right. Moving on. We have De La Salle versus St. James. Now, this will be a good one. And let's talk about De La Salle being very good this year also. But St. James, in my opinion, is going to win this game by 4 points. I'm going with the Wildcats. I think Braden Williams, that's his name, right, VK? The quarterback?
Yes, sir.
I think Braden Williams will play a little bit more smarter this game, and he's gonna run the ball more. He's gonna escape the pocket and take off and run. He's not gonna try to stay in the pocket and try to throw the ball deep. He's gonna run, be that dual threat that St. James will need him to be in order to win a state championship. So I have the Wildcats of St. James winning. GP.
I'm going the other way. In a game like this, and I know it's again we're tempering all the enthusiasms. This is a jamboree, but give me the team that's got the alpha dog on defense. Kedrick Richardson is that dude on defense. St. James held their own against Harnville. They did okay, but Harnville's defense is not De La Salle's defense. They've played Kedrick a lot. He's a linebacker, but he's so disruptive and he's so good off the ball and on the ball. I just think St. James is going to struggle. I do think the Cavaliers win a low scoring affair. I think they win it by a field goal.
I think the game will be close in itself, you know what I'm saying, because of the fact that both teams, they battled each other before. It's been a while since they played
It's
each
been a
other.
minute.
It's been a minute. But at the same time, I'm gonna go with the Wildcats. They have a lot more experience than De La Salle. De La Salle, yeah, they got Kedrick Wilkerson, but who else is gonna help him? You know what I'm saying? He could do a lot of things, and I like what he does. But where's the others? Where's the others? Because I tell you,
Seven starters back on defense. VK, just keep that in
that's
the notepad.
that's good. That's good to know. But at the same time, that St. James offensive line is going to be a huge test for that defense because I tell you that offensive line is huge and they are aggressive. And I like
Hmm.
St. James. It'll be close. It'll be very close. But I got the Wildcats winning.
All
Okay.
right. East Jeff versus Curtis. Can we all just say Curtis? Move along.
I I just feel bad for the debut of Coach Glover over at East Jeff. Great
Same.
guy, and great guy. And I tell you one thing, it's unbelievable. He got this blessing to be the new head coach at East Jeff.
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? I'm happy
Definitely.
for him. I wish him the best. But
He's got.
what
Hey,
a way to debut.
he got more. He got more talent now with Grace King closing. A
Yes,
lot of them players from Grace King going to East Jeff. He got more talent to use now than what he had at Grace King. So this may be a step in the right direction for Coach Glover and East Jeff. We'll see in due time, but he's
yes.
got more talent now.
I agree. I agree. But a debut like this.
Yeah, I know. They be in the Jamboree against Curtis.
Oh,
Boy,
but hey,
right.
hey, that's
I'll
something
say
that they need. I'll tell you, they need that.
I'll
Go
say
ahead, George.
this for Coach Glover. I'm gonna give you props, man. You ain't afraid to go against the big dogs, and that's the big dog, John Curtis, the reigning Division One state champion, reigning Division One select state champion. I'm gonna say this: Curtis wins, and they're gonna win big. But each ain't gonna play some disciplined football. It's just the talent levels. The gap is way too wide, though. I think Curtis wins by 3 scores.
DJ, you say Grace King had a park ball team. I hear what you're saying, but he had some talented players, especially the running back. I don't remember his name, but whoever the running back was for Grace King, and I think he was just a freshman. That dude was talented. All right, and they playing at the Shrine. That's right. We move to the next one, and I think this is a matchup we could talk about. Terrebonne, supposedly having all this talent now. Of course, Tyler Lewis, have this talent at Terrebonne, up and coming Terrebonne, going against that veer of E.D. White, and I think it's gonna be a good one. But I don't have Terrebonne winning this Jamboree game. I don't. I got E.D. White by 6. I think E.D. White gets it done with that veer option, gives Terrebonne fits. I got E.D. White, George Peppers.
I'm gonna go with Ed White as well. Kyle Lasine has done a marvelous job down there. He's got a team that's got is in a prime spot to contend again. Again, with the confusion of the injunction the other day, we don't know where they're going to be as far as in relations to what classification they're going to wind up. But as far as this game, Terrebonne, you know what they didn't do last year, and that's a question for me. They didn't finish games last year. They were in position to finish some games last year, and they were too young and inexperienced. They didn't get it done. I think that they'll be better. But Edie White's team, you want the epitome of physical? That's them. That they are the testament to their head coach. They will pound the pill on you, and they will beat the snot out of you. I'm going to take Edie White VK by a touchdown.
I will definitely. I really, DJ 13 is like reading our minds right there, or something like that. It's just crazy. But I'm gonna say this. I think it's gonna be very tight with these two teams. But I think we're gonna go with the experience. I'm gonna go with the experience of Colin Sane and Edie White in a tight game against Terrebonne. Should be a very good one. And I think it'll be close because I think Terrebonne's gonna put up a fight.
All right. Two state champions going at it. Lutcher taking a short drive, not that long, to Destrehan. And I'm gonna go first, man. This is good. Good test for Lutcher. And they're gonna play hard against Destrehan, but the Wildcats of Destrehan will get the win by 10. George Peppers.
Not a good matchup to break in a new quarterback, Watcher. With March graduating, they got to debut a new quarterback against Estrahan. Um, oh, wow. New Orleans Dolphins has lunch about 6. Interesting. Very. VK, Marcus Scott and Destrehan are going to be very good again. I mean, yeah, they got to replace some pieces, some integral pieces to try to get back to the Superdome. Yes, they do have a new quarterback, but I think the roundabout, the talent that Destrehan has is better and, more grade one, group one quality, division one quality than Lutcher. And that is the difference. I think Destrehan by a touchdown, BK. It's a gallant effort by the Bulldogs, but Destrehan by a touch.
I agree
Yeah,
with you,
Joe Dylan
George.
says it best. Shane Lee running around big time. Go ahead, VK.
I think you took the words out of my mouth, Joe. I like what Shane Lee does. Great all around athlete, and he's gonna step up as leader of this team and everything else. It's gonna be interesting with the two new quarterbacks. It's gonna be tight, but I'm taking the Wildcats.
So you got Zach at Lutcher. I cannot remember his last name. You got Jackson Fields, who is the George be back, who's supposedly the starter. I think those two guys are gonna be good. I really do. I think they both gonna be great. Before we move on, and y'all can put this in the comments. Y'all put this in the comments. A lot of talk about who's the best running back in the area, even the state. But I want y'all to put in the comments Fred Robinson or Shane Lee. I want to hear from y'all. Who do y'all think is the better running back? Now, we move on while y'all put that in.
I
Another
think
running
we
back,
I think we forgot some. Yeah, you. Thank you.
they seniors. That's why I say that. Fred and Shane are seniors. But that's why
Oh,
I said that.
okay,
But we move on
okay.
to another running back who I got to see at a scrimmage last week when St. Martin's played Bonneville. Harlan Berry and the St. Martin's crew will go on to play Newman. And Bonneville don't have the type of talent as a Destrehan, but at least Harlan Berry played up against higher and better competition. But Harlan Berry did get his runs. He made people miss. To me, he's playing a better team than Bonneville and Newman. And I think Harlan Berry will have a little hard time getting free. He's going to have his moments. Don't get me wrong, but I think Eli Friend, quarterback for Newman, and Newman gets it done. I give them a 13-point win. George Peppers.
The thing that Newman's going to benefit from this year, and it's not just the Jamboree, the spotlight, the inherent spotlight that they had last year, the last few years with Arch, is no longer there. They can focus on foot. It's not that they weren't focused, but they can focus back on football and being that team. You know what's crazy about Newman, though? 3 Mannings have played quarterback at Newman. None of them have even gotten to a state title. Peyton, Eli, Arch, none of them got to a state championship. That's crazy. You got Peyton in the Hall, Eli potentially in the Hall, and Arch. Well, he's just getting started at Texas, but he's not going to play this year early. As far as this game, BK Nelson Stewart, I think he's got a little bit of a statement to make here, and I like Harlan Berry a lot. I like what the Saints bring, but these Saints are not winning this week. I'm going to go Newman by 10.
I think this is gonna be closer than people think it is, and to me, I'm taking the upset. St. Martin's returns multiple starters,
They do.
and they are trying to make a statement. Remember, the same St. Martin's team got to the semis. They want to try and win it this year. I'm going with St. Martin's by a field goal.
I got a question for you. Do you
Yes,
think
go through it.
St. Martin's is as talented as Newman, even though they have the most talented player on the field?
I'm just saying, bro. Experience says a lot, bro. All I'm gonna tell you is this. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Remember who was? I'm gonna tell you this. Remember when Country Day played a meet 3 years ago? Joe Changle was the head coach. A meet had a 21-6 lead. A meet, and I tell you one thing, you should go back to it and see that again because plain and simple, Country Day came back to beat a meet 35-28. And look what Country Day done that year. Could have went to the state championship, but fell short in overtime in the quarterfinals. All I'm gonna tell you is I know they got a new head coach. Frank Gendusa did a great job last year with the St. Martin's team. And the biggest key was, and a lot of people said about Harlan Berry, does he stay St. Martin's? I don't know, but multiple starters return. Harlan Berry wants to get this team a title. Kevin Dias is the new head coach, has a lot of experience. I know he has a lot on his hands. But I tell you, the experience of St. Martin's will come through. I'm just saying by a field goal because we know Newman got more talent. We know that, but it's about this. That's what St. Martin's got.
All right. Moving on. Madison Prep versus Catholic. George Peppers.
Madison Prep's going to be a very good team again. Catholic, they're going to be what they are. They potentially could be in New Orleans second week of December when we congregate in the Superdome. They could be one of those teams playing. Hell, who knows what district or what division they're going to be in. We don't even know.
What do we know?
The,
Yep.
fool- the foolishness that's happened. We hope that it gets straightened out. But for this game, BK, I got the Bears and I got them big. I think 14 points. Catholic.
Wait, who you got, Jared?
Catholic.
Going with Madison Prep for the upset.
Oh,
Madison Prep returns multiple starters as well. New head coach for Catholic. All I'm gonna tell you, you think I'm crazy. When all this audit, when all is said and done, and the upsets happen, you're gonna be like, did VK say that? No, yes, I did.
I
Yes,
know
I
what I
did.
want to say. I know what I want to say.
Well, all I'm gonna tell you, this Madison Prep team was young and they caught fire at the end of the season. This is the good Madison Prep team.
All right. Moving on.
Hmm.
A rematch of last year's semifinals. University Lab versus Dunham. Oh, I think they're going to play their hearts out for this one because it's on University's mind. Hey, we should have went to the Dome and Dunham stopped us. I'm going to go University Lab with a 3-point victory. George Peppers.
I got Dunham. I think they know that university's coming for them, even though it's a jamboree. It's about the name and the front of the school. And Dunham's like, look, it's a jamboree. We get it. And some people may dismiss it if we lose, but they're thinking to themselves, you know what? Why not fire an opening salvo and say last year's run to the dome was no fluke? Neil Weiner is a doggone good coach. He's done it at multiple spots, and he did it at Dunham last year. And quite honestly, they should have beat St. Charles, but the Comets rose up in the last 5 minutes and made some huge stops to turn that game their way late. Dunham beats University by a touchdown, though. I feel like that the Cubs are going to play well. Dunham's going to get it done by a touchdown, BK.
I agree with you, George, and I tell you, I don't know. I don't know what's with some of these matchups. To me, I just smell another shootout. Dunham wins 42-35.
We now go to Zachary, Louisiana. West Feliciana takes on Zachary. Joel Rogers, safety that's going to LSU, plays quarterback for West Feliciana. They usually have a good team in their division, their district, their class, whatever they in. And Zachary does too. But I got Zachary winning by 13. Zachary Broncos. GP.
Another set of Saints they may lose this week, and that's West Feliciana. Um, while the New Orleans Saints are winning, these Saints in high school may not experience victory. Zachary, they had a little bit of a slip back last year. They didn't get to the dome. That was the customary home. Um, I think they got a shot to be better. I think David Brewerton is an elite head coach, and Rob um, Dog, it is the coach for West Feliciana, Rob, Icky, I think, Evie, I think. Um, I just think Zachary's got too much. And look, remember, Zachary's got to break in a new quarterback because Eli Holstein is now at Alabama. So that's a dynamic to look for. I think Zachary wins it because of their defense.
And I agree with George on that one. I think Zachary wins because of their defense. I think they'll make defensive plays. And probably I wouldn't be surprised they'll get a pick six. I got Zachary by 2 touchdowns.
We coming to the West Bank, baby. We coming home. Here we go. First game at Archbishop Shaw on Friday night at 5:30. Brother Martin versus John Ehret. Brother Martin, your defending state runner-ups in Division I Select versus John Ehret, who is coming just across the way, less than a mile. Brother Martin lost some pieces. They lost some pieces. They did. John Ehret lost a few too, but they got some big talent. You got Armani Cargo on defense. You got Wardell Mack on defense. But I don't think they're going to beat Brother Martin this Friday after what I saw last week at the scrimmage. I don't think they beat Brother Martin. I think Brother Martin beats John Ehret by 10. I got the Crusaders coming to the West Bank, defeating John Ehret. And now I pass it on to a John Ehret alum, George Peppers.
Oh boy. Okay, objectively, I think
Yes.
John Ehret beats Brother Martin.
Okay.
They bring back a ton of starters, and they get an influx of talent off of Helen Cox because
That's
they
true.
close. So they've got 4-year starters draped across that roster. I think Sano at quarterback is going to take a little bit of time. I mean, they replaced Royal Falgu. The biggest thing that happened to John Ehret was last week. Wardell Mack committed to the University of Florida. Don't know if y'all knew that, but he gave a verbal commit to the University of Florida. So that distraction is now out of the way. He could focus on being that dude and doing his thing defensively. Cargo's another good defensive player for Ehret. But Ehret's offense is going to be underrated. Charles Coleman, a 4-year starter coming back.
Charles is
If
good.
he,
Charles is
he
good.
he's got talent, but the head's got to be in the game. I mean, it's one of those where he lets the littlest things get to him. Brother Martin is going to replace some people. Mark Moniz did a superlative head coaching job last year on a team that, quite frankly, didn't have dome talent. But you know what? They got hot and they got to the dome. They just got overwhelmed against Curtis. I think John Ehret is going to show an early statement here, and I think they beat Brother Martin by 10. VK.
Well, it comes down to me. It's I think this one is going to be very close in itself. Brother Martin, they return some interesting starters and everything else. Eric returns a lot in itself. I give a little bit of an edge to Brother Martin, but I think Eric is going to win it at the end. I think they're not going to let Brother Martin come to the West Bank and come in and beat Eric not too far from their school.
Nope.
So they don't want them to beat him over in Marrero. So
Mhm.
I like John Ehret in a very close one. But I just give
And,
it a G, probably about a field goal.
and I got to say this. VK Jones was not compensated for picking Eric against Brother Martin. Just saying. No bribery intended.
Nope.
Moving on. Here we go. It might get a little real right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, a
It
lot
might get
real.
a little real. It might get real right here.
Let me cut
Yes,
my mic
sir.
off.
Let me stay respectful to the Purple Knights right quick. I don't want to call them that nickname, you know. All right, St. Augustine Purple Knights are coming to Archbishop Shaw. Here they come in the Jamboree. Marrero, the word of the month. Oh, DJ, don't worry. When Shaw come out, that's what they play. What the fellas be yelling, Marrero. Yeah, Shaw playing too, not just John Ehret. But anyway, let's get back to this right quick. St. Always coming. Oh, they coming. They got Dawson at quarterback. You know, Hubert Caliste at tight end. Big old line. They got Biggie at defensive end. Kristen Pritchett is at safety. You got Fred at corner. Man, the talent at St. Aug is ridiculous. Ridiculous, right? Some of the best talent in the whole state is at St. Aug. But right now, some of the fan base ain't happy with what they saw last week. They're not happy. And now here we are with Archbishop Shaw. Got to replace a quarterback. Got to replace David Kinsey at running back. Got to replace Mike Williams at wide receiver. But it's so crazy. Jacob Washington transferred from Jesuit. Has an offer from Miami. We got a running back that transferred from Jesuit. 6 feet, 200 pounds. Man, that dude's big. And then we have Mason Wilson at quarterback, who can let it rip. Woo! Oh, Shaw gonna open it up this year. We just ain't running the ball. And defensively, 8 starters return. And then you can't forget about the Carter cousins, Ron Trey and Jaquan, who was getting in. They are freshmen and a sophomore this year, with Ron Trey making all district last year as an 8th grader. They getting in. Jasper Parker, thank you, New Orleans Dolphins. That's the running back. But a lot of people still saying St. Aug gonna win. I'm telling people, don't overlook Shaw this year. That is a good team, and I think that team will be better than last year's team. Don't overlook Shaw. The Purple Knights are coming to Shaw, and I will say it here, and I say it all the time. But I'm more confident this year than ever. More than ever. And I'm going to say it with pride. The Purple Knights will lose by 7 points to the Shaw Eagles. Now I pass it on to my good friend, who is an alum of that Purple School, the one and only VK Jones.
Well, I'm gonna say this. You know what I'm saying? We know the Shaw Eagles, very respectable. Good run last year. Very good run. Damn good run. You got some good talent back this year. Quarterback that's good, but probably unproven. But he's got to see if he's proven. We got experience a little bit with the running back, quarterback, receiver returning, offensive line. Okay, cool. It's all good, you know. But at the same time, you know, yeah, you're thinking the Eagles gonna pull it out, right? You know, it's been a long time. Been a long time since you guys didn't pull it off. You know what I'm saying? You got to get over. See, Shaw got to get over not just one hump, but 2 humps. You got to get over the team out of Severn Avenue, and then the team from 2600. Let me tell you something right now. Shaw gonna bring the lumber, but it ain't gonna be enough. Like I said, St. Aug, one of the best high schools in the game. Coming out here and everything else. Let me tell you something right now. St. Aug about to make this historic run. All you Purple Knight fans, quit overreacting. It was a scrimmage against a good Warren Easton team. Quit overreacting. You always do that dumb stuff. You always do. You need to keep that same energy and support the Purple Knights every week. Win or lose. I'm tired of that. You know what I'm saying? But all I know, the big historic one will go against you and your alma mater. St. Aug wins by 10 points. Welcome to the 2600 penitentiary.
You're
That's all right here.
You're right. Y'all been in the penitentiary since 1979. When you getting out of that, huh?
No.
When you getting out of that penitentiary?
No.
You get to the dome since 79. When you getting out?
Nah, y'all been in the penitentiary against St. Aug. Y'all ain't beat them in what? When y'all last time you beat
Oh
them?
damn,
Wow.
that's cold blooded, Coach Mo.
Wow. Oh.
Coach Mo throwing shade on you, VK.
I wonder what Coach Mo, what school he went to.
35. He's quarterback with Lionel
Mac
Bro.
35. Yeah, he went to McDonald 35.
All I'm gonna tell you,
Stop it.
I feel sorry for you, man. I feel sorry for you. I'm not gonna trash no 35 because my boy is the head coach. He was a teammate of mine.
Frank Daggs.
Frank Daggs. We playing on the semifinal team. We should have won state 95. So I'm humble about and I got number love for Wayne Reese. All I'm gonna tell you, I feel sorry for y'all as a fan base a bit because the fact of the matter is y'all were this close to making it a dome and you didn't get there either. So oh yeah, that's good. That's good, but I'm gonna be real with you. The game changed when Wayne Reese got there. When I was at St. Aug, we owned you. We averaged over 45 against you. So remember that. Trust me, I get it. I think this year St. Aug 35 is going to be probably one of the best games we've seen in a long time. Yes,
All right, George.
sir.
Go ahead, George
The
Peppers.
same energy, baby.
So I gotta be the tiebreaker and the voice of neutrality, right?
There you go.
Okay, because I didn't go to Shaw and I didn't go to St. Aug. I went to John Eric. Proud of it. Absolutely. Well, where do we go? Shaw last year did not have an identity early, and they struggled. Hence the opening destruction against St. Charles last year. Lost. That was a humbling beatdown at LaPlace. And the Jamboree, I don't remember what they did in the Jamboree
They
last year.
won. They
Yes,
played
indeed.
Riverdale.
Oh,
Riverdale,
well,
they won.
okay. Lighthouse of the Blind. Okay, I hear you. All right. But now you got a step up in class, sir. And Mason Wilson, you say he throws it really good. He is 5'11". He's not a very big guy. 180, 185. You got to transfer at running back, but your speed threat, Kinsey, is gone. He's gone to Penn State. And
You're
as a
right, but
Michigan
guess
fan,
what? This guy can break tackles. You can't
he
get him with
can,
one
but does
person.
does he have the getaway speed that Kinsey had?
He don't have the getaway
Kinsey
speed that
went
Kenny has. Not the
no,
speed, no.
no. Kinsey ran track. That's why the dude could run. He's a legit 4.4, legit. And I got to see that dude as a Michigan fan. Now he's at Penn State, so that's going to be interesting. That said, St. Aug's got a plethora of talent on their side of the ball, and I feel pressure from both of y'all's like uh, Fish City if I pick the wrong one to the loser. Um, all jokes now. I've said this all along. I have Hank Tierney in his second year. Love you, VK, but Hank in his second year, he's figured this team out. He's got to plug some pieces in, but he knows what he wants. He's got a direction, and I think Shaw wins a close game. I think this is a touchdown, but I think it's going the way of the West Bank. So, what the fellas be yelling, Jared?
Marrero.
Thank
And,
You
you.
played. You
and
played
VK,
that.
don't forget
You
this. See,
played that
usually
man.
when we played each other, I was the one that jokingly was started. I didn't start nothing this year. You know who started it? God darn Nick Foster. What he told me? We gonna kick y'all ass. Woo! Can't wait! I can't wait. And I'm gonna run. Well, I can't run. I'm gonna get to him in the game with a microphone and say, "Hey, coach, how
What's
you feel?
happening?
Get your ass kicked."
I'll hold you to it.
I'm I'm I'm
I'll
I'm
hold you
I'm
to it.
I'm like this. I'm like this. Somebody gonna be a sick man Friday where that scoreboard reads St. Aug with the victory, Shaw the loser. Somebody gonna be sick in the stands with a little crutch right there, and all of a sudden you're gonna have to get that interview with the
But
victorious.
that crutch might be
Oh,
in use. That crutch might be
oh,
in use.
that's being bitter. If that thing being
Ah,
used,
no.
that's somebody
Ah,
bitter.
no. I'd be
Oh
like,
man.
that's some heavy ass bitterness. But no, on the real, look, let's be real. Let me just say this. It should be a very spirited and highly competitive football game. If we know Shaw and St. Aug, with teams of equal talent, of good top end talent, this is going to be one of the better games of the week in the West, in the area, in New Orleans. I think we're in for an entertaining football game. I believe that's at the end. I think Shaw squeaks it out. I think they find a way and they get a late touch. I think defensive is going to be the difference. I think one of the defenders is going to get a pick six somewhere late, and that's where the Eagles win it.
All right, we got 3 games left, and all of these games are on Saturday. We're gonna start with
All
DJ
right.
113's team. McDonough 35 taking on Landry. Landry lost 20 starters from last year's team. Do I need to say
And
any
their coach.
more? They ain't got a head coach. He's suspended. 20 starters gone. Man, 35-17.
Name your number, Ron Eagles and Coach Mo. I don't know how much celebrating you want to do by beating that team. That's like beating Miller Wall Elementary. That's what it feels like. I think Mac 35 is going to win by 21.
BK.
To Coach Mo, to DJ 13, and to Frank Daggs, and to also Wayne, the late Wayne Reach, rest in peace. 35. I'm not gonna say by 35, but by at least 4 touchdowns.
4 in the
Okay.
Jamboree. Woo!
4 touchdowns.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
If there's a lesson for Landry, especially for the interim coach early, this is the time to have that lesson right now to see what they need to really work on and to see how they can maybe recover.
All right. The game following that is Carr versus Kennedy. And this is the game that I really want to see. This is the game I want to see right here. Because Kennedy can move the ball. But will they be able to move the ball on Carr's defense? Will it happen? We know Carr can move the ball on anybody. But BB got to choose which receiver he going to try to lock up. Will he stay on man-child Teron Francis, or will he go on Raji Dennis? Either way, whoever he goes, the other two, Tyrone Wilson and either Raji or Tyron, gonna have a field day. So I think I love that Kennedy is playing Carr. They're not gonna win. I got Carr in a Jamboree by 21. By 21. I'm going 21. Could be more.
Mm.
But I love
Okay.
that Coach Elfage is playing Carr. It's a good test for his Kennedy team. A great test. So I'm very, very happy that they're playing them, no matter what the outcome is. But Carr to me by 21. Could it be more? Yeah, but I'm gonna stay at 21. Go ahead, GP. BB
It's
playing?
Admiral.
Is 1 second. Is BB hurt? Something I don't know about? BB is a game time decision? I didn't
Who's
know all
saying
that.
that?
DJ 13 saying BB playing with a question mark. And New Orleans
Ooh,
Dolphins says game time decision.
we're going to have to
Okay, I
do
didn't know.
some digging on that one
Yeah. All right,
because
go ahead, GP.
that could affect week 2 because we're going to Terrebonne in week 2 and Kennedy plays them. And
Yeah.
we're going to have to find out the injury situation there. Get on that. As far as this game here, look, thoughts and prayers to Bryce Brown and continued recovery in your recovery from that accident that you
He was at
had.
the scrimmage. He was at the scrimmage
Okay.
against East St. John. He was there.
Well,
He did an interview and
that's
everything. So it looks like he's
that
okay.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
beautiful to hear. Outstanding. Blessings. Um, I don't think this is close. I just don't see a way this is close. And now knowing that BB may not go, they're probably not going to play him being it's a Jamboree. Carr by 30.
Well, I have to be, you know me, I'm always different. Now, what I'm saying, don't be surprised. I like what Page is doing more than anything else. Don't be surprised. And here's the thing, don't be surprised. I think Kennedy is going to hit Carr in the mouth early. I think Kennedy hits Carr in the mouth early, but Carr settles down. They handle their business, and Carr wins by 14 to 20 points.
New Orleans Dolphins 7x7. What is your YouTube channel? I kind of got an idea. What it is, but let me know what your YouTube channel is. It's gonna be live on the YouTube channel. Yeah. All right. Last game of that Jamboree: East St. John versus Warren Easton. And fellas, I feel bad for Warren Easton. Excuse me. I feel bad for East St. John. I feel bad for them. They about to get body slammed through their own grass at their own field at their own stadium. It ain't gonna be nothing nice. Easton coming out talking trash out the get-go. You know Wallace does that. He did it on crutches last year, talking trash during warm-ups. He did it at St. All talking trash. About to come out talking trash out the get-go. And the thing is about them Easton boys, when they talk trash, they back it up.
Mm.
Back it up. I feel bad for East St. John in this game. They Yeah, East St. John getting the money. They getting the money. You're right. But I feel bad for East St. John in this one. Warren Easton by 27.
You know, and Brandon Brown has done a very admirable job at East St. John. Uh, Gave a gallant effort in the quarterfinal loss to Destrehan last year. It was a very gutsy effort. You know, those kids were very resilient and just lost a very gut wrenching game in that quarter. Um, they feel like an opportunity was lost. I mean, I don't know if they can replicate that effort here. Um, I think Warren Easton, you know, with the specter of what's happened to them with the punishment, you know, the fact that they're not going to be able to make a playoff game, and what are they playing for? Well, a scrimmage doesn't tell me much, but beating a St. Augustine team that's got a top end level of talent tells me a little bit of something. And VK mentioned that they changed the logo to fists. I hope none of that stuff happens in week 5, but we'll see. Mind you, for these 3 games that we just talking about, guys, that are watching, if y'all don't know, these games were moved to Joe Keller, Keller Stadium in East St. John because of security reasons. It is not going to be played. I think they were supposed to be at Pan Am, Jared, or
Sad.
Gormley.
Yeah, go on.
Sad.
Is that going? Okay, well, it was like, you know, NOPD has said no. And look, let me explain this as before we continue. NOPD is on a staff shortage, so they've got to be able to pool their resources, and they didn't want to go all out for a jamboree. They're going to be fine for the regular season whenever New Orleans teams host. But Easton, you know, I feel like the Eagles are going to win. I don't know about by 27, VK. I feel like East St. John's going to give them a little bit of a test. I say Easton gets away with a getaway score in the fourth quarter. I say they win by 14.
Ah, man, I gotta tell you, I know one thing without a shadow of a doubt. Brandon Brown is gonna have them boys ready.
Yep.
He's gonna have them ready to play. I wouldn't be surprised. East St. John's gonna be fired up, focused, and I know they know Easton gonna talk smack. They're gonna talk smack too. But when the game kicks off, Warren Easton's just gonna take off, and they're just not gonna stop. They're just not gonna stop at all. Like I said, the intensity, that's the biggest thing we want to see. I think Easton wins big, but at the same time, we're gonna see how much the intensity more with Easton in the coming weeks, especially the first game at Ruston. If they can pull that thing off 2 years straight, all I'm gonna tell you is this about Easton: if they go 3-0 and finally get the victory over Edna, if they get payback against, they win against Ruston, get the payback against Catholic, and finally beat the Car Cougars. Look out. And all I'm gonna tell you is this: even if they go 10-0, the district they're going in might be the toughest they ever been in a long time. It ain't gonna be easy, Jack, because I'm gonna tell you one thing: 35, Carver, and Douglas, they got something to say about it this year with multiple starters returning. I'm telling you now, there gonna be some people bringing it, but Easton can go undefeated 10-0. And all I'm gonna tell you, like I said, they go 3-0. Look out.
Um, Easton not losing to nobody in the district. I'm sorry.
I
Not even
don't,
30.
I don't, I don't, I don't think they're gonna lose to anybody in the district. But I'm telling you, if they're gonna have to earn their lunch, they're gonna have to. Somebody who said last year, "Oh, they're gonna beat Carver all over the place," and guess what? Carver took them to 2 overtimes with a young team and to return multiple starters.
Yeah, that happened. You're right.
And
That happened.
and that same 35 team, remember, 35 had them people dead last year. They
Yeah,
had them dead.
had him dead.
So guess
They let
what?
him rise.
That's what I'm saying. But it could happen again because remember, they got that big senior class that didn't had no seniors 2 years ago. All I'm gonna tell you, and Douglas, they returned multiple starters. It was a tough team last year. All I'm gonna tell you is this: those three teams in that district in general is gonna challenge Easton. Easton will go undefeated. They won't lose a district game, but it ain't gonna be easy.
DJ, DJ, I got card beating Warren Easton. I do. I don't see Warren Easton beating Card, but we'll see when week 3 comes.
Can't
Before we
wait.
go, a little bit of tidbit for y'all. Number one, if you got Tubi, TUBI, they have brought back the show QB1. And the main two guys, there's 3, but the main 2 guys on QB1 is Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson, who are both now in the NFL. So QB1 is back. That's where they had that season. Number 2, if you guys got an Amazon account, you can get Amazon Freebie for free. And on September 1st, there is a documentary on the Evangel Eagles that will be coming on Amazon Freebie, produced by Russell Wilson. And number 3, I know a lot of y'all should remember Bishop Sycamore, you know, the so-called
The fake
team,
school.
the fake school with all the D1
Yeah.
prospects that lost to IMG 58-0. Well, if you go to HBO Max or Max, they call it Max now, there is a documentary about that. So I'm just letting y'all know that. Now, moving forward, we are back next Tuesday and next Wednesday. Next Tuesday, we should have Wayne Stein, the head coach of the St. Charles Catholic Comets football team, joining us. And on Wednesday, we will have the head coach of the South Plaquemines Hurricanes football team, Coach Lyle Feet, join us. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we are back. Y'all get out to these jamborees, support these players. We thank all y'all for tuning in. Of course, VK got a last word. The finger went up. Go ahead, VK. What you got to say, bro? Go ahead.
No, this is important. Don't forget, we kick off our season, the Hash It Out Show game of the week, starting next Friday. We are at Covington Jack Salter Stadium, John Ehret in Covington, kicking it off. We will kick off the show with the Hash It Out Show countdown to kickoff. It'll be at 6:30. We will be on Facebook, YouTube, possibly Instagram. We will see. But we will be on those two. We'll be on like we got it set up here, 6:30 to 7. Then we'll be on tsbn.com for the audio stream of the broadcast. So we'll give you the links before Friday so you can tune in to the Hash It Out Show countdown to kickoff, and then the Hash It Out Show game of the week between Covington and John Ehret. George Peppis and myself will make the call. Jared JB will be joining us for pregame.
So, New Orleans Dolphins says after the Shaw game, get on. Okay, I'm with it. Let us get home first, and we'll come on. I'll get DJ13 to tell y'all exactly what time we're coming on. He'll send a text out, and we'll come on. We'll come on. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it for y'all. Now, DJ13, you know next week we got to pick them on Wednesday. You was here all last season. You know we pick them. So yes, next week we will be picking the week 1 games Wednesday night after the interview with Loud Feet. So make sure y'all are here. Okay, Tuesday and Wednesday, but Wednesdays are pick'em games. So for my man VK Jones, my good friend George Peppis, I'm JB, your sports guy. Hash It Out employee. Yeah. I got you, bro. I'm JB, your sports guy. We see y'all next Tuesday and next Wednesday. Well, I'll do car pick early. Okay, I got you.
Appreciate
Yes,
y'all guys,
indeed.
man.
There it is. Call Valenti 50-0. Battle of Algiers. We out. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care. Thank y'all.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.